for this match against C9, there's just everything on the line. There's Houston and getting the chance to play in an arena and have all those fans be there and have that crazy experience and a chance at winning another trophy, which I'm here for, and I want to keep getting trophies. And there's everyone's pride on the line because they got rid of me, I left, and now I need to show them that they shouldn't have gotten rid of me.
Awful lot of NA talent looking good in the building today, Kobe. Evil Geniuses are up 2-0 in what has been a very clean set of games so far.
Yeah. Canada in the house as well.
Yep.
Jojo and Vulcan both. Big performances so far. Let's get into what could be our final draft. And EG, again, blue side, Cloud9, again, has the possibility of the counter picks. Red side, final save, final counter pick. What is it going to be? EG ban out the Caitlyn again after the first game. They did not want to deal with the oppressive pushing bottom lane. That has really been the only adaptation that they have been forced to make. Other than that, it has been business as usual for this EG squad. They have not had to alter their plans that they drafted and crafted versus this Cloud9 team with anything that has popped up in this series. Again, first pick to Zeri. Grab that one for Danny again.
Yeah, I think Impact's just taken all the other champions out, actually.
Danny has two pentakills on a single champion, on Zeri. more than almost every other, actually every other LCS player this split. None have been able to get it, I believe. The Lucian Twisted Fate throwdown. This, no matter where Lucian goes,
it's exciting.
Exactly, it's exciting. Either it's a Lucian Nami bottom lane, and it's a very aggressive kill lane, or it's a Lucian solo lane top side, in which case it's also very aggressive. Either way, Twisted Fate loves to teleport to Lucian lanes to get kills for this champion. So in game number 3, Cloud9 are not going to divert, and they're not going to back down to a front-to-back, you know, work tank for tank, frontline type of stuff marching forward. They're going for aggressive, split, teleport Twisted Fate, side lanes pushing type of strategy. And so from Evil Geniuses, they see that 1-2 pick from Cloud9 says everything that you need to know in a draft, and they already are like, well, great. We will get, again, our map movement combo of Ryze plus Nocturne, Realm Warp, and Paranoia. Two of the best at picking off if you're trying to play aggressive split sides of the map. And so, EG, once again, they've already successfully used this, so it's going to be about execution. Cloud9 double down, they get that Nami, so it's the bottom side of the map. That's going to be incredibly aggressive. They could still do a tank top side for Summit, but from what we've seen, that data says it is very, very unlikely.
And Cloud9 going to go one step further in the process. Do pick up the Nami in phase 1, but just cannot go ahead and ban Ornn away. But, you know, Impact at least play another tank in the top lane.
Pastry, it has taken over 3 weeks, and yet finally we see Ornn banned, the Forge Master banned. I will say there are plenty of other tanks you can play behind it. Scion, Malphite, those types of things are still very, very good tools if you want to commit to that style. I don't think that they will or have to from the side of EG. Definitely a lot of options still open. They're going to target jungle as Blaber has still not been able to lock in a pick. And for Nocturne actually doesn't have a lot of bad matchups. Some of the ones that can be annoying are some of the early game stomp champs that can interrupt his early clear and can affect the lanes. And so taking out the Volley Bear is pretty good. You don't have to ban Rek'Sai because, funnily enough, Nocturne actually directly hard counters Rek'Sai with your spell shield, and Rek'Sai having to open up combat patterns with Unburrow means that even though it's an early game champ and would like to stomp the Nocturne, does not get to because spell shield will completely negate the entire kit and your combat pattern. So they go for the Jarvan instead. Is going to be that early game possibility of setup, but man, again, Cloud9 are putting themselves into a position where they have to play early game well, and they have to snowball, and they cannot make mistakes and give up any gold to the side of EG. They do have fairly narrow win conditions. If you win with a team like this for Cloud9, though, it does look like a roll. It looks like a stomp because it is effective snowball early. The Nocturne is probably going to be the biggest hurdle that they have to overcome, and EG will pick another tank for top side. It is the Gragas instead of either the other two that we mentioned, but definitely expect Impact to build that way. Let's see, the final counter pick, once again, for Cloud9. They shout out the Ice Chicken. Love it. Froggen shouts out as well.
There's Gwen.
Well, it does give them some scaling outs for later for side lane. It gives you some 1v9 outs. Gwen is actually very good against Zeri because of the range and because of the W. It's very, very easy to manipulate it and deal with that one. I'm still up in the air on it. I feel like it does give them a decent amount of outs, gives them more AP damage as well to take some of the burden off of Berserker. You know, even though you're double AP solo lanes, Twisted Fate is mostly for the pick and setup, and it does give you another lane to threaten. Twisted Fate doesn't have to go bottom. Jarvan Twisted Fate can threaten both sides of the matchup. So Blaber and Fudge have one of the biggest goals of Cloud9 of this comp, and it is success of jungle mid means the success of the team, means the success of the side lane. If Jarvan Twisted Fate can find success, then they can roam that to both side lanes and come back in this series. Cloud9 are famous for cursing teams in reverse comebacks.
They desperately need momentum, Kobe. Let's see if this is the comp that gets them there. Precipice of pushing themselves into top 3, into finals weekend. This could be our last game of spring 2022, Kobe, in LA. But I would love to see some more League of Legends today. We'll see if Cloud9 with a very aggressive comp can get it done.
And they have to. Every game from here on out is a split elimination game for Cloud9. Spring Split, which is traditionally the split of Cloud9, their biggest successes. And yet they are going to have to pull out all the stops now. Harden the mental, focus on this game one at a time. They have done it before. The history of this team, of this organization, even in the face of this young NA talent, of these heathens, they're gonna have to pull out all the stops. Cloud9, famous for making gauntlet runs, for making all of these unexpected successes in the face of doubt. And they're gonna have to do it 3 times in a row here versus Evil Geniuses.
Summit once again is getting some info. Just trying to be a nuisance. It's gonna poke Impact here a little bit, but just gonna go to the lane now and make sure to join the wave in time. And Spired's going to be A-OK. Curious where the jungle pressure is going for Blaber. Obviously, Cloud9 drafted a lot more early game for themselves this time around. Jojo is going to eat a gank very early on, but that's a very nicely placed ward.
Jarvan Twisted Fate, again, it is the crux of this team. They are not the ones that are going to carry late. They're the ones that are going to get this team comp their early game advantages and snowball them and get them to their win conditions for this series, for this match. So the early level 2 attempt from Blaber, not a surprise. Not a surprise to us, but also not a surprise to Jojo. Having warded out on that side, he saw it, they swept it, doesn't matter. And Summit, once again, this is why he keeps going for the level 1s to track Inspired. He knows Inspired is pathing away from him, so he goes for the aggressive trades, chasing down on Impact. He's Gwen with the Conquerors, trying to stack it up. Does get his lane push and his harassment done.
Yeah, Impact, though, no stranger to Summit's Gwen, is navigating pretty nicely, even though Gwen will obviously have the early levels here up against the tank Gragas, and that's a lot of damage.
And the goal of it for Summit is to whittle down on your resources so that he can get his recall off. Because you can see Cookie and extra potion in the inventory here of Impact. He's trying to make Impact drink all of them, whittle on through them, snip on through them, constantly keep up the pressure so that then Summit gets first move. And first move for top lane is actually very powerful. You can either get off your early base, or you can also return with deeper vision. Blaber, though, with the fight over the crab.
Yeah, Battle Crab, good smite from Blaber, does secure it.
Crabber number 1 down. Let's see about Crabber number 2. Blaber immediately transitioning back up to that top side of the map. Swing and a whiff.
Perfect timing there for Summit. Takes the early recall, TP's back, wants to keep the tempo up nice and high. And Impact just gonna try and get the wave in and see if he can't do the same thing.
And these are the benefits of the style that Summit went for. You work through first all of the consumables of your opponent, then get off your quick recall, teleport back, and try and force the same out of him. But Impact, he's still got an extra cookie, so he's actually got enough sustain to finish off the push here. Meanwhile, Summit picked up the refillable potion, so he's gonna try to be more efficient upon his returns, and wants to try and push in the wave so that he can get his teleport back out and make use of his first cooldown. Blaber, though, on the mini-map, even though they're going for some trades on bottom side, look at the mini-map, because Blaber, after Wolves, has transitioned back to base to get his longsword, and then top crab into top gank here. Impact with a defensive ward does see him, and they'll be able to play accordingly.
Yeah, 2 nice wards actually there. Blaber gonna get spotted returning to his jungle as well, so Impact knows that pressure isn't coming. Still has to deal with Summit in the lane, and Summit with the W pop is looking to try and find a solo. He hasn't had many options this game so far, and now they're dancing in the alcove. There's first blood down the bottom side, but it's going to be second blood top. No, not yet. Inspired is here just in time, but Blaber is here for the counter gank, and he takes out Impact with the flag.
Beautiful. He only has eyes for the kill.
What is going on? Bottom side, JoJo's roamed down for one. And now Isles in a 1v2, but JoJo's low.
He's gonna be one if he's not careful.
JoJo just keeps walking over. No, Isles just says, I got it. And now Vulcan, do you have the next one? Out of mana, almost out of health. Isles is low, but Isles can walk away.
JoJo roams down, but only gets a 1-for-1 Pastrytime. The flash used for that roam as well. This opens up so much for Cloud9 for Twisted Fate. They get kills on top side, they get kills on bottom side. We mentioned for this team comp for Cloud9, they have to snowball early, and they have done just that. This means so much for the texture of this game. Elimination game for Cloud9, and they need at all costs to get early advantages for both sides.
Oh, Berserker, you filthy animal, that was sick.
It was only in the picture-in-picture, but Berserker flashes Vulcan's combo, and then JoJo comes down, and he's only able to get a 1-for-1 out of it because Isles tries to peel for him here, and gets the ignite down onto JoJo. He finishes the job himself. He flashes away from Vulcan to avoid that stun auto that was about to come out. So he pins them against the tower. They get the answer kill. This one, you know that Blaber, all he has to do is ignore Inspired and run straight for the kill because Impact had just used his flash and his body slam. He could not dodge the EQ. So Cloud9, they get victories on both sides of the map. And when that happens, Pastrytime, this opens up all options to you. 1.4 thousand FTX gold.
Yeah, that's massive.
Advantage for them. And Twisted Fate is online. Twisted Fate Ultimate is ready, and he's got flash advantage over the Ryze. So the roams are in Cloud9's favor, and the early pushing is in their favor on both sides of the map.
I'll just swap to Ignite as well, so he's ready to go join a party in either of the side lanes here, although about to get his party crashed. Run warp in, Fudge walking away, does get rooted up, maybe gonna hold it, but he's gonna have to flash soon. Doesn't want to commit it, knows actually that there's not enough there. Nicely done by Fudge.
And look at the minimap, they're taking the dragon during this attempt mid. So Fudge soaks up the pressure towards mid, and Dragon is coming down to a smite fight. Inspired is here.
Yeah, Inspired, they're gonna get jumped on there. Berserker's just gonna try and make it happen. Fudge moving down. Danny's here, but he's gonna be late. Vulcan, though, with a 2-man pole already in the mix. Berserker low, slain by Vulcan. Danny coming in to sweep it up. Blaber barely holds on to the Dragon, but Cloud9, that is a disaster outside the Dragon fight, and that's gonna be a 3rd kill as well.
Evil Geniuses collects Pastry. That FTX gold advantage is gone.
Yeah, goodbye.
Blaber turned around and got the dragon, but that's all that Cloud9 get off of that play.
Wow. That is Live Evil, the tweet out of Evil Geniuses there.
Good. I want to see a revival of the hashtag Live Evil. Get it done because you are on your way towards Houston. Start talking some smack. Let's see it.
All right, well, Jojo has 2 kills again. I don't know quite how that happened, but once again, Jojo.
I know how
top
it
of the gold
happened. It
chart.
just happened in the dragon fight.
Oh,
and it's
Impact?
gonna happen top side.
Impact 1v1. I mean, it's not going to be a 1v1, but it might as well be. Danny going to get the gold. Gwen is immune, but not for too much longer. Carrie's going to get the gold. Vulcan's ready for the interception, and that's Inspired with the kill.
I really wanted just for the laughs for Vulcan to just take that, smack him right in the tri-brush, but he delivers it over to Inspired. Definitely going to try and help snowball him. If you can get an early Stride Breaker, anybody without a flash. This is why Stride Breaker is always the best mythic on Nocturne. Even after they took out the dash, the slow is so big and keep people within tether range because you have such a big movement speed difference. On the speed of your Q plus on the slow from Stride Breaker, you can force out people's summoner spells so easily, keep them in tether range, and he's going to be extremely threatening as far as the dives go. And EG, we've already seen them execute on a team comp very similar to this one, so you know that you can have confidence in them through the mid game. Cloud9, they had such a great opening to this one, so much hope. I could feel it in the fans in the stand. And yet, with that one dragon fight, even though Cloud9 got the dragon, so much of that hope washed away, and now everyone back to the edges of their seats. Elimination match here for Cloud9, elimination game. They've got to be able to pull this one off.
And for Cloud9, you can't let up, right? Like, Berserker has a decent individual gold lead, Summit has a very small gold lead, but you have to keep finding picks. You must be proactive with Twisted Fate. You must have Berserker and Isles keep trying to find kills.
And you must, this game, have a successful Summit. Summit is the one on Gwen. Gwen has the most 1v9 potential because of how effective the W is into this team comp. It has to be some money, 2 items on Summit, on Gwen, to be able to pull this one out. Berserker is going to do his best in trying to carry, trying to push on the bottom side here. Lucian, Nami will be able to try and set them up, especially if they can teleport Twisted Fate down there to get that gold card. But one of the biggest thorns in the Cloud9 side has been dealing with the paranoia, dealing with the Nocturne and the Ryze roaming around, the mobility on the map, and trying to track.
I mean, Inspired already popping up towards that side of the map. He's got the ulti back. Level 7 Stride Breaker done. They could dive this if they want. They don't know where Blaber is, though they did spot the flag just a moment ago. So Summit, not that safe, but Inspired is pathing back towards the middle of the map.
Where he goes, you have to be worried. The ultimate is very thematic, aptly named here from Nocturne. And with a Rift Herald in hand, when you make your Nocturne play, if you get your successful dive, your kill, you very often will get an entire tower. Because taking off an extra person from that side of the map, overloading it with multiple members, that means you'll be able to push on the tower. You can work off the 2 turret plays by hand, pop the Rift Herald, the true damage will finish off the turret, and you just blow open the map for the Nocturne Ryze to be able to take advantage of. And it's incredibly important for, here we go.
Dive coming in, 3v3 though, but already very low for Fudge. Slain by Jojo. Vulcan finds the alley-oop. Blaber traps him in the Cataclysm, has to do something as Isles gets a very nice 2-man bubble, but there's no follow-up. That was all defensive.
And that's going to be turret plate knocked off. They've got 3 members of Cloud9 here trying to defend, though. Berserker going to do his best. The cover fire gets them off the turret. There will be no full play.
2v1 though here. Danny down the bottom side alongside Summit. Impact just buying a bunch of time. The exhaust is enough. Summit trying to dash away, but Impact shuts that down.
Not on Impact's watch. Doesn't matter where you are. Top, bottom, it's still going to be a top die. Danny roams down. The Zeri damage helps him complete it, and the EG War Machine continues to hunt Summit.
Jojo senses danger. There is Berserker and Isles in the right side brush, but they're going to pop out now. Jojo gives him his trademark Teemo thumbs up, and Berserker says, hey, I don't like that. Jojo, though, proccing Phase Rush, going to rush away. Actually, doesn't have Phase Rush, just got on out of there.
That's what I like to see. You know, the evolution of emote trading as well. I need Summit to now, or Berserker to bind some emotes to Lucian dash. So every time you go in or every time you dash away, you've got a different angle on it. Jojo, definitely one of the most confident players that we have in all of the LCS. And he shows it. He lets you know he wants to get inside your head. And now that they have the advantage, the 2-game advantage in this series, it is the best time to leverage those those advantages and aggravate your opponents. They've got a 1.6 now thousand gold lead. Cloud9 just with the dragon in their advantage, trying to deal with this Rift Herald push on top.
Yeah, that was the lead that Cloud9 started with at 6 minutes, under 6 minutes. But top lane gonna try and interrupt the play. Here's Fudge looking, but only finds Vulcan. Rift Herald's gonna charge, and they're gonna go back through. The Everfrost is out, and Cloud9 are on the defensive once again, just having to run away.
And it's because they don't have teleport on Summit, so they're making the call. Guess what? EG, they committed all their resources top. All we have to do is defense here. Nobody get caught.
As you say that, that's a combo after the Ryze root. Blaber, too far forward. Impact shuts that down. And EG are hunting between two towers now. Jojo looking for Berserker, who does have cleanse and flash. Good cast into the root, but no one can follow Berserker. Lets the culling rip. But EG, they'll take the tower, they'll take the damage, they'll trade with Summit in bottom side. But this is all good for EG.
It is. It's tragedy for Cloud9. All they had to do at this point, they had avoided the engage, the Nocturne ultimate, the Realm Warp. All they had to do was not die on top side. Summit will get the bottom turret split pushing, but EG, they get their pick, they get their kill, and they trade the tower. So in the end, they also trade top tower for that. Objectives kind of a wash, plus the extra pick for EG. You see objective bounties not popping up quite yet, but edging towards that way. Cloud9 will get another dragon though. They continue dragon stacking through this whole series. That has been their creed, their motto this entire series. They actually back off because they don't have deep vision. If you would, just toggle vision once again, observers, because the threat of EG exactly here is unknown. And the unknown is not what Cloud9 want a piece of. They know that the dragons have done nothing for them in the past, and they don't want to risk sticking around. Even though they were not EG members that close, the fog of war is another opponent to deal with.
All right, well, Cloud9, seeing if they can find a way back in. Can they open up a side lane for Summit with Twisted Fate? Can they track Inspired, who's just been constantly ulting people on cooldown? Can they contain Danny? Can they contain Jojo, who's having a breakout playoff series? He has changed so much from the first games we saw from Jojo. It is incredible to watch the growth of a player that is very far from done showing his ceiling.
Meanwhile, it's actually telling that EG, even when they have full control of the map, do not take the dragon. They let the Cloud Dragon sit. They will take your towers, they will take your gold before anything. The priority on dragons for EG is
Vulcan
zero.
looking to set up the play on his old team, and Danny zooms on him from the side. Berserker's gonna get up, but Danny is flashing in. That's an arrow. Berserker is gonna put an end to that shenanigans. And now Summit's in here, Fudge TPing through. Everfrost finds the root. C9 need these picks, and they will find them.
This is their moment. Cloud9 needed to get as much as they possibly can. When you are so far down in a series versus EG, you must strike.
Summit battling Impact. Impact tanky, but not that tanky. Cloud9 though can't dive it.
Now, do they go for a gold themselves? Nobody pushing for these neutral objectives. Nobody pushing for an immediate transition over towards Dragon. Even Cloud9, who were stacking, do not have the priority on it. They try and chase down. They try and pick Gragas there. They're ineffective in being able to get the Gragas. Let's take a look at our flip the switch replay from Rocket though at Vulcan. Straight up the middle. This is why we always prioritize Vulcan on engaged champs. That with the Nocturne does burn down the Lucian close to dying, but close is not enough. Berserker gets away and they punish Danny. He went all in, and this is the moment for Cloud9. Lying in wait. They need to take these opportunities, and so they jump through. They've got one pick, now is 2 kills, and then they have the choice to try and rush down an objective or go for the chase. They tried to get the chase to get some more gold for themselves, unable to do that, which means actually on the reset, they finally pick up the dragon. Literally nobody wants this Cloud. This is the ugly duckling Cloud. Cloud9 finally go over and get it, but EG are back to pushing waves here and back to pressuring towers. Top side, Danny's already up at it, dealing damage, getting minion waves, and continuing to close the loop.
All right, well, signs of life for Cloud9, but they're going to need a lot more of that, a lot more picks, and EG are just not slowing down. Yes, they went a little too far in mid lane. Yes, we talked up the 2 young EG players, and they both died in the last play, but that does not stop them. In fact, double charge in mid lane does a ton to the mid lane inhibitor tower, so even more places of pressure for EG to play around.
And it just makes so much sense why EG have stuck with this same game plan every single game. Prioritize gold, prioritize experience, and map control. once again, they lock in the Nocturne Ryze. Once they saw the Lucian Twisted Fate from Cloud9, they know you're going to try and play aggressive. They know you're going to try and split the map and have Twisted Fate teleporting. So they get map movements themselves. And when they prioritize taking down all these turrets, the Magician Danny is out. They can take advantage of it. This is why you get these towers down. That means Nocturne and Ryze are that much more threatening. You have so much more power in inventory with your items completed. Anathema's Chain is done on Nocturne once again. Last time around, he had on Berserker. I'm assuming he will put it on either Berserker or Summit, probably Berserker again this time around. The tenacity reduction is actually really good for Nocturne because it does also help out with the fear and everybody else on your team that's trying to dive that carry as well. So damage reduction as well as the tenacity increase really reduce the threat of the carries when you're a dive champion like that. Because the only drawback of Anathemas is that you do have to be within 700 range to get that tenacity reduction. Guess what? Nocturne does not have that problem. He's always diving in, will always be in range of those carries. So we'll always be able to get that extra effectiveness for you.
Oh, very clinical here for EG, just playing to the TF right now. The Cloud9 are answering. Again, Cloud9 forced to play pretty defensively here. EG are going to sweep through the jungle. How far will they go, though? Going to sweep out this vision. Vulcan moving forward. Going to get himself stunned up, but the root does land. He ultis out of the first stun, but he does get out safely.
And critically, you see how quickly Cloud9 pull back? They get out the Nocturne ultimate. Vision denial and the possibility of that dive has been the biggest thing that they have tried to combat. Danny, over the wall, gets away from the exhaust, but Blaber is on his trail.
There's a tower there as well. There's the gold card rapid fire. Just got finished with Fudge. Blaber's there. Danny's going to try and fight his way out, but he can't do it. Jojo, in the meantime, though, is going to take the tower that the Rift Tower charged on earlier.
And this is the benefit of always pushing 3 lanes for EG. They get the inhibitor tower and bottom secondary here under attack from Impact and Jojo. They probably won't be able to finish it in time as there are hex gates on the map.
They will indeed escape. Blaber takes out the control ward. Jojo gives a thumbs up on the exit. But TP committed for Cloud9. Ultimate from Twisted Fate committed for Cloud9 just to get 1 kill and still lose a tower in mid.
I love the focus on pressure from Evil Geniuses. This whole series, they have constantly prioritized pushing out these waves, constantly pressuring towers, using teleports for these tempo plays to keep up the pace on your opponent so that every recall costs you something. If you go back to base, if you have 1 less person on the map, guess what? They're pushing harder. They're trying to expose you to more Nocturne ultimates split on these different lanes, or else you get what we just saw. If you're able to even effectively pick off one of the split pushers like Danny in the last case, then you lose out inhibitor turret and half of the HP of bottom turret. So EG, they create the scenarios where they still will get some reward even if one of their members gets picked off there. And Danny knowingly did not use any summoner spells in trying to escape. So he still has everything for the next pick that they make or the next team fight.
Fudge even swapped to cleanse here. Knows that he's vulnerable in the side lane here, just trying to catch the waves and push things out, get a little bit of pressure. There is a dragon up in 40 seconds. It would push Cloud9 to soul point once again this series.
I think this one, since it's so easy for EG to set up, and the Hextech Dragons are much more valuable, and Hextech Soul is very valuable, so I would assume that this one, they would pick it up if EG do not actually contest the mana, but Cloud9 are running straight through.
No vision, though. EG have done a nice job of blinding them of this portion of the river. Also, mid-out is still up and very healthy, so Cloud9 just have very little room to work with here. They're bold as 5. They can't really do any side lane pressure. Blaber's flag will spot a couple, but you got to fight front to back, and I'm not sure they want to, but you are going to be forced to. Ultimate goes in from Nocturne. They're after Summit, actually. Gwen bubble goes up, but impacted to the backline, trying to make it happen. Jojo straight into the middle of the enemy team. Stasis is there. Vulcan finds the combo on the backline, but Blaber barely misses onto Jojo. And Danny, once again, is ripping through Cloud9. He's got himself a double. EG starting to sense it.
Jojo on the line there. He survives. They're not done. Berserker with Nami trying to pull something out of a hat here for
Danny, what a play. Ulti still ticking. Flashes past the CC, still queuing them. There's the stun, but they can't follow up, and Vulcan with the flank is finding another. Fudge is going to have to TP away, and EG going to go for Baron now.
Hashtag live evil. They're headed for Houston. Pastrytime. EG are putting Cloud9 in the dirt. What a difference in that fight. 2 Zhonyas. jojopyun down to 50 HP. Also, Summit whittled down to 50 HP. And yet, on exit from the Zhonyas, Jojo survives, Summit does not. Let's take a look here. Right in on him. Inspired just dives right in with the spell shield, with the fear on top of Summit, chunks him down so low. And you see on the top side, the Gragas plus Ryze engage keeps them all busy. Vulcan with the secondary engage onto Berserker. They denied so much damage possibility that Summit got whittled down. He got taken out on the other side. We're back out to live.
Yeah, once again, looks like Summit is getting dove by Inspired. Summit's going to live to tell the tale this time. Stun lands onto Gragas. Not that tanky impact. It's going to be burst down. One more shot needed. Are you kidding me?
They can't do it. Summit also chunked down so heavily. They both have Unleashed Teleports, though. Summit uses his first. Impact will get back to base. He will use his Unleashed Teleport to get right back out too. They want to throw everything at this Soul Point.
Gotta get the Dragon. EG know it, though, and that is the TP ward is very nicely placed for Impact to return to the fight. Jojo gonna let it rip. Vulcan there in the front line, but the ulti is ticking. Danny on a rampage. Takes out the jungler. Now the Dragon's loose. Summit knocked around, but EG don't care about the objective. They want the kills. They want the gold. Danny gets a double. EG take the Dragon away. And that is basically putting to bed Cloud9's chances in this series. But Berserker in the brush is going to get one. But now feed up by Inspired. Now going to be killed off by Danny. Call it a triple kill because that's what it is. EG can seemingly do no wrong. And they're going to get a 4th kill as well. A 5th kill perhaps. Danny with the unofficial penta. Not this time. No, he gets it. That's another unofficial Zeri penta.
And that is gonna be a Baron for Evil Geniuses. Wait, Blaber's back alive. Summit will be back alive. The contest is possible here for Cloud9. So EG opt to just take their entire jungle. Plenty of wards around here left for them to pick off too. The hope of the steal for Blaber is there. Jarvan can always blast cone in, can EQ in. EG aren't even gonna give them the possibility of a flip though. They'll just marginally increase their gold leads, take away the jungle, leave Cloud9 with nothing left to do. 6.2 thousand now, the gold lead. EG go for their resets, and they refocus on pushing those minions out. Danny gets teleported on, though. He's got everybody in his face.
3 items here for the Zeri. No flash. Does have the exhaust. Rides away to safety. Not safe enough, though. There's a shutdown. They desperately needed that. The TP as well. Perfectly timed, and Jojo's gonna die.
This could be the comeback, Pastrytime. There is life in Cloud9 yet. At the precipice of being eliminated from spring playoffs, Cloud9 find the picks. They kill Danny. They kill Jojo. They kill the young talent. They take the carries off the map, and they will take the Baron unless Inspired can pull off a miracle steal.
No way. No ult, no flash. you cannot take this Baron as Inspired.
They're trying to get something here with a top tower, but it might cost even Impact his life. Gragas is mobile, but Gragas will be pinned inside the enemy base. Can Cloud9 also chase down the Gragas? That would be a desynced death timer if they can find it. Cloud9, this would be a way to chain back their victories, but they can't close in Impact. So it is just the top tower. EG will get some gold in exchange for that Baron, but Cloud9 have life within them. They've got hope.
They do, and Cloud9 desperately need that at this juncture. Berserker, 3 items done. Fudge, Zhonya's done now as well. And probably most importantly, Summit finally at the 2-item mark on this Gwen.
And critically, he's got another carry to his back. Berserker, 3-item power spike here. He's got Mild Malmortius extra shield to help him with all of this magic damage. So as long as Inspired, who has been going on Summit, does not take down Berserker, then Berserker can be that extra threat that they need.
Look at how safe they're playing. That was like everyone was there with the Baron up cannon. Cloud9's like, nope.
Do you fault them?
No, not at all.
With what has happened this game, it is understandable. Realm Warp, Nocturne ultimate. Gragas has flash as well here for Impact. They are itching to make that play. Fudge with the first move.
They know a recall just happened as well.
Nocturne ultimate down, huge for the team fight. No vision denial, no guaranteed dive. This will be Cloud9 getting more gold back.
Yep, nice for Cloud9. Very patient there. Summit with the sweeper. Spotted Impact recalling because he knew he was in a brush, and he suddenly disappeared and Inspired. Burning the ulti gives Cloud9 the confidence to step forward and chip away at still a very significant gold lead out of Evil Geniuses.
Breathe deep here for Cloud9. They are holding on. white-knuckling this series, white-knuckling playoffs right now with all of their strength. Evil Geniuses are still remaining calm, though, and this is such an important thing to see from a team that does have very young members. They also, though, supplemented those young members in the creation of this team, of this roster, with very, very, very veteran members. Impact on the team, always such a strong shot caller for every team he's ever been on, pulling Vulcan away from Cloud9, getting him the possibility of this vengeance match against his old organization. These are two of the best shot callers that we have in all of the LCS. And it shows in the demeanor of Evil Geniuses. Even when there is all this pressure, even when they are so close to finishing the game, they're always focusing on that next little advantage that they can get. Okay, they made a mistake. They gave up 2 kills and gave up Baron, but in that time, Impact was able to get back a single turret. It's those small things that you see in these big moments that mean the difference for a team that is really looking to win the LCS.
Big grid checked over Cloud9 as Inspired's gonna ride on in. The engage looks good, but they're maybe gonna turn it back around. Jojo is very tanky, but Berserker is gonna cull most of his health, and Danny is on it once again. Blaber's gonna have to run. Summit as well, has the ghost, but doesn't pop it. Does get slow, but he should be okay. EG, though, setting up for this dragon, continuing to take things away from Cloud9.
And this is a very low-value dragon, honestly. This is, okay, soul point for Cloud9, but it's 30 minutes into the game, so the soul doesn't come that quickly. I would not risk anyone's life for this dragon. However, it looks like we might have a full commitment. Ryze has Unleashed Teleport. He could flank right in front of him.
Impact again, very scary here as the ulti as well. EG trying to move their way back in. Cloud9 have to navigate carefully. That's the route there from Jojo. Vulcan finds a double. Blaber gets in, gets out with the Cataclysm, and Cloud9 are going to be sent packing back to their Nexus. Summit finally dead. C9 with no health left to speak of, and EG, they're just going to keep on going, brute forcing through. That could be it. EG find 4 kills.
That's going to be EG taking the dragon, and they will run rampant through Cloud9's base. Vulcan is on the hunt.
Oh, it's a kill. Fudge does find one back, but Danny, no ulti active, doesn't go over, but Impact. The walls are closing in around Cloud9. They're going to take so much here, if not the Nexus.
Yeah, they're going to go for the end here. Vulcan says after all this time, he gives 1 back to Fudge, 1 back to Cloud9, but EG will still be taking so much. Blaber, 15 seconds though. Summit, 11 seconds.
5 seconds on Isles. It's close. EG leave.
Not quite yet. Not quite yet for Evil Geniuses. And again, you have to remain calm, remain poised, even when you are so close to ending this series, so close to earning your spot in Houston. Evil Geniuses go for the reset.
And I mean, look, you can see how important Danny is in this game. 10-4 on this Zeri, massively scaled up. Even Inspired, who's now moonlighting as a YouTuber, has the notification bell ready to Mikhail's Danny out of trouble.
I actually love it here. Full support of Nocturne. He's popping his ultimate over and over for cover, using the denial from the darkness to stop some plays. He is also not concerned with being the one to get any of these kills, not building any of the damage. You know, I love, supportive builds like this in pro play. In solo queue, I would never do this. Never, never, never. But because of how fed Danny is, okay, great. Get him a Mikhail's. Get your anathemas to put more tenacity reduction on opponent carries. Slap that thing on Berserker so that Berserker gets CC'd forever.
All right, Cloud9 still holding on, but it is going to be a very tough ride to the finish line as EG do pop the Nocturne ulti again, but Summit's already in the mix. Gonna get feared up though, barely misses the tether, I believe. And Cloud9 now gonna re-engage. Danny is gonna be the target, but Blaber's maybe gone too far forward. He has to flush out. The ult from Impact does pop Blaber back in, but Vulcan's dived on in. He's got ulti though. Not gonna matter too much, but Fudge does get the kill. Summit now going back through. Cloud9 fighting tooth and nail to try and save this game. Berserker gets exhausted. Danny's still unleashed, and that's gonna be it. Danny should have it here, but no. What's this? Fudge summoning Cloud9 still dancing, the stun lands in, Fudge can't get it. Danny once again, so big on the Zeri, he's gonna force Isles away, and Danny's gonna waltz on through to try and end the game, but Isles will escape.
Danny flashed over the wall to get in here even faster. Pastry, it's Danny versus the Nexus turrets, and the turrets don't stand a chance.
Isles, can he do anything here? He's just got so little to play with. It's literally the Fed Zeri versus one Nami. One little fish in a very, very big pond, and the bubble lands, but it's not enough to try and save the day, and Danny, in style, will vault over the Nexus and push North America's new hope, new talent, new team into top 3.
Take a bow, evil geniuses. Every member. 3-0 with confidence. Danny getting cheers from the crowd. We question, how are the younger players going to deal with live crowds? Well, they love it, Pastrytime. That's how they deal with it. And guess what? There's going to be a bigger crowd waiting for you. The biggest, biggest in the history.
You thought this was fun, Danny and Jojo, just you wait. Booking their tickets over. EG will finish at least top 3, but they have their eyes set on the organization's first trophy in the LCS.
And what it would mean for evil geniuses. You know, we have talked about franchising and the success of 100 Thieves. And for EG to come in as another one of those franchise teams being formed, working diligently year after year here, split after split, trying to craft this combination of veteran players to lead the way for the next generation of the younger players, and to be able to make their way to Houston as well would be so big for the organization.
Looking good. Cloud9, unfortunately, it was only sweeps in their playoff run. 3-0s or 0-3s, Cloud9 will bow out for the first time in a while here in Spring, but EG more than earned it this series, looking incredible. A team that had looked great in lock-in, right? And then looked a little shaky throughout the regular season. Everyone had the question, we know they're good, but can they put it together consistently? The answer after that series is a resounding yes, Kobe.
Every team in the LCS this split, besides 100 Thieves, made big roster changes. So every team was projecting some sort of growth pattern, some sort of curve. Nobody knew how they were going to go. Everybody had their ups and downs. Everybody had their turns this split and their learning processes. And EG have come out ahead of the pack. Yeah. They are heading to Houston, and well-deserved. Congratulations. It'll be fun to see them on that stage, getting ready now as well for the interview.
I'm looking back.
After yesterday's interview, I'm ready for a banger.
Yes, I'm ready for some spice. I believe we have a little bit of a delay while we wait for a player, but we'll get them on stage and get you to them as soon as we can. I think there's something you mentioned, though, feels so important to me. These young players stepping up when they see crowds for the first time, when the pressure gets on. Like the thing you always worry with talented young players is that you will fold under pressure. And the opposite has happened to Jojo and Danny, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure. And honestly, too, the commitment to work ethic for both of them, from the very beginning, Jojo was one of the biggest grinders of Champions Queue, which I feel like is such an important factor. And Danny very publicly had a lot of criticisms for it, but after the post, he then also dedicated himself to almost every single day that week to playing as well, to grinding away as well, and work ethic is rewarded.
Yep, certainly looks like it after that series. We'll be talking pro to pro with Danny a little bit later on, but for now, it's time for a Boomer Zoomer Verizon post-game interview with Impact and jojopyun.
Yes, sir.
What up, everyone? Welcome to the Verizon post-game interview, officially dubbed the Boomer Zoomer interview that we have. Oh my goodness, though. So going into this, EG was unable to defeat Cloud9 in the regular season. Cloud9 3-0'd you last time you faced off in the playoffs, but today, such a stomp, sweep across the board. Impact, tell me about what the winning strategy was.
Just camping summit. I mean, I'm just joking, but I think we are improved that a lot better than regular season. I think we have played so much better of our team play-wise. That's why I thought we just easy win, you know.
EG win through and through, game 1, 2, and 3. Jojo, you were looking really good throughout. Player of the series, in fact.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know you had some words with Fudge going into this. Were you threatened at all by him based on his last performance?
I mean, I never, like, how can I say? Let me think. Like, I don't think Fudge is that good at mid, but he beat me every single game. So I couldn't talk much trash because I'm like 0-3 against him in regular season, so I couldn't talk much. But now that we 3-0'd him, I think I can say now that I think he's not that good. So, and I'm pretty confident now. So there we go.
Enough to send him back to top lane?
We're sending him back to top lane. I think he's going back to top lane after this game, yeah.
Speaking about top lane a bit more, you were just joking about facing off against Summit. Were you surprised, though, that Cloud9 continued to index into him with the picks they were bringing through? Because you were all able to shut him down.
Well, I was surprised about they not picking Oren because, I mean, in the playoff, when played against GGS, I thought their priority was high over Oren. That's why I thought they should picking Oren, and they're not picking Oren, and okay, I'm doing that, and that's hard work. And I got surprised he played Camille or Gwen. It's not many people play Camille and Gwen that much. I mean, I'm playing Gwen, but I got surprised, and he played well that, but I don't know, something, their team fight is kind of weird. I can feel they're choking themselves so much, so it's easy.
Y'all were feeling pretty good in the team fights. Big top die mood, right?
Of course.
Now, Jojo, actually, it was a recent TGI interview that Inspire did where he was speaking directly about your improvement throughout the split. Can you tell me a bit of where you think you have improved the greatest and your greatest strengths here in playoffs?
I feel like I used to focus too much on laning, and I feel like more now, like I've been more focusing on team play and helping my team and, you know, setting them up. So I think that's what I improve on the most, because honestly, the more I play, the more I realize laning doesn't matter that much compared to just playing with my team. So that's what I improve on the most, I think.
And playing as a team, all of EG, that means you have officially punched your ticket to go to Houston, get to be in front of that big old crowd. How do you feel about that impact, getting to return to such a venue?
I mean, it's such a nice because we have been when we stage game, you know, like this, you know, with crowd. Now, but how long? It start at the 2020, right? To no stage people, and yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's great to have the fans, because even we have like white noise in our headsets, so we can't hear the fans, and they even put it louder, but we can still hear the fans like screaming and cheering. So, you know, it feels good.
EG. Any advice for the young gun who will be in front of that big crowd for the first time? Because you've got experience there.
I mean, just enjoy game, you know. I mean, thanks to watching crowd people, but like I always say that Jojo don't care that much. Just focus your play. That's better anyway. If you make the good play, anyway they like it. So I think he's gonna play well in the Houston.
Focus on the play. It is a rematch, though, against Team Liquid. How is it going to go this time around?
I mean, I think we improved a lot since we versed TL, like a lot. So I think it'll go better than it went last time. I think we can beat them if we play how we played today. So I think we're pretty confident. Yeah.
Well, everybody give it up. Thank you, Impact. Thank you, Jojo, for speaking with me. Congrats on the victory. It is time for us to hear from another young gun, though. We've got High standing on by with a pro-to-pro alongside Danny. Check it out.
Hello everyone, I have Danny here. First, I want to say congratulations on 3-0. I personally didn't predict that, so I apologize for that in advance. I predict you guys were going to lose, but you proved me wrong. So I actually have a few plays here, and I want to talk with you about it. I find your team fighting to be very fascinating. Here, for example, you're getting killed by Akali, and to run away from her, you jump into the entire enemy team. So can you tell me a bit about what goes on in your head during team fights, and in this team fight specifically, what you're trying to do? I can run it twice if you need to see it twice.
Yeah, let me just look at it real quick. So here I'm just trying to just match with my team and like just get away from this Akali because she obviously has a lot of kill threat on me. So main idea is playing with my team and then also trying to escape. And then I also noticed I had my E, so I was like, let me just go over the wall with flash and then E over. So it wasn't really in the team. I took a shock blast, but I got out really fast.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's very fun to watch you take these team fights. So actually, I have another clip here that's about to play. If you take a look at it, you'll see really quick, I'll pull up the mini map so everyone can see that Dragon is spawning soon, and you'll see that your team actively makes a decision to not go towards it at all. And I'm wondering, does your team just not care about Dragon? And if so, why is that? You actively choose to go for towers and gold. Can you tell me a bit about that team decision?
Yeah, okay. So for our champions, Victor and Zeri, I think they are very gold dependent. Like they scale really well with items. So instead of objectives, we just want to get as strong as we can before
Instead of Dragon specific.
Yeah.
Because you guys go for towers or Herald.
Yeah. Drag, so yeah. So we prioritize the tower gold, and then once we get maybe like 2 or 3 items, we feel confident to fight the soul point or the soul.
Is that consistent regardless of what champion you play or what comp you have, or does that change depending on like your team comp?
It might depend because some champions do better with gold and some champions don't. But it just depends on what kind of comp you have, what kind of champion for sure. Yeah, that was just our decision.
Gotcha. So then in this third clip, I'm sure a lot of people are wondering what was going on here. Clearly, you guys destroyed this team fight. You played this extremely well, and you get a quadra, and your entire team is pretty much sitting AFK at their nexus. Can you tell me a bit about what's going on in comms here and how come you're not going for the penta?
At first I was like aiming for the penta. Here I try to flash and he flashes away from me. Then I kill Trundle. And then I obviously just like, he's not gonna give it to me. I'm just gonna go in the game, focus the mid inhib, and then push the wave. But they're like screaming to me like, hey, he's like giving you the penta. And I'm like, oh wait, really? Wait, why is he doing that? So yeah, definitely wasn't like focused on the penta itself. I just wanted to win the game.
Objective play, I respect that. Because you definitely, if you guys just killed him there, you definitely can end the game here. I want to call out in chat really quick. You guys can't see it because I can't make it any bigger. But Fudge is basically typing out, hey, don't kill me. Can you save my KDA? So I thought that was really fun to see that players are still having a good time. Even though he's getting blasted personally, it seems like he's still having some fun. So that's pretty cool to see. And then, do you know that you have more pentakills now than most of the LCS? You are tied at, well, you're at number 6, which doesn't sound very good, but a ton of people are tied at 2nd with 4, and you're at 3 right now. You have more than me, in case you're curious.
Oh, wow.
Which isn't saying much, because I only have 1. But anyway, I have one final clip here, and it's not as hype as these previous clips or anything like that, but it's another thing that your team actively decides to do. Let me fast forward a little bit. It should come up here in a second. Let's see. Okay, right here. So you get solo killed in lane here, and it's pretty consistent that you guys lost lane all 3 games. And I'm not saying this because you guys are playing bad, but you guys make active decisions to choose poor lanes, and or Vulcan chooses to leave your lane often. So is this something that you feel like you can just deal with? Like you just fall behind in lane phase and come back in mid game? And if so, how does that make you feel? Because obviously no one wants to play lane and lose lane, right? But it's a sacrifice you're making for your team. So can you tell me a bit about that?
Yeah, I think the champions I really like playing are kind of difficult to play in the meta right now, aside from the obvious like Jinx and maybe Caitlyn. But Zeri has a really tough laning phase, and I think since I played her all 3 games, it was obviously not going to be the strongest point of my gameplay because Zeri's not the strongest. And Vulcan, I think he just wants to how do I say this? Like he wants to make sure that even though our lane is rough, he wants to make sure that he can keep making these plays with these champions and just scale into the mid game and hope for the best because our team fighting is pretty insane, I think.
Gotcha. So moving towards finals, you're going to play against 100 Thieves. Do you think this play style where you focus like not on your lane is something that will work out for you? And if not, do you want that to change or are you fine with this?
I think I definitely should change up the way I like to play champions because losing lane definitely sucks, and I really think it could be one of our weak points coming into the finals. So I definitely want to keep playing Zeri because she's really fun and really broken if you get past the lane phase. But I do think that picking favorable matchups into other lanes is definitely good.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to see how it goes. Obviously, even though you lost lane, you mitigated the damage really well and were able to come back every single game. So that's all that I have for you here today. Once again, congratulations on winning, and I'm excited to see you guys play in the finals. That's it for us here, and back to you all at the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you so much, Ty. And Danny, congrats again, Danny, on the 3-0 victory. Looking to challenge Team Liquid now in 1 best-of-5 to push forward to maybe get that shot against 100 Thieves for the title. But they did it in 3-0 fashion today. I love hearing from all of the players, everyone from Impact, the Boomer, to the 2 Zoomers in JoJo and Danny. What are you guys' thoughts on this series? I mean, I know that Mark and I predicted it 3-0 straight up, and that feels pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
are you sure about that?
I don't know where you sit,
We're gonna have to go back in the VOD on that one for you.
Please, scrub back 1 segment. Just,
one
segment.
Two,
not to the beginning of the day. Just to...
I will say, like, this was such a slam. It was hard to pick, like, player of the series. It was hard to, like, be like, oh, that was really intelligent what they did there, because it just felt like they picked Cloud9 apart. Like, very little of what Cloud9 did seemed to work. And they just kept taking them apart game after game. And then it's a 3-0 snowball, and it's like 3 o'clock, and we're done.
Exactly. Yeah. There are 3 things that I see here. First thing was the thing I said wasn't going to happen happened, and they did go top lane, camp Summit, and Summit was put in a bad position in a lot of these games. That was the first one. 2, EG has their draft priorities set. They firmly believe Zeri is strong regardless of Nautilus. It's been banned, sure, but it's something that they have been picking and sticking to and picking around teamfight compositions, right? So that's something that they haven't been doing. Meanwhile, Cloud9 and a few other teams have been trying to play more towards split push. And then, yeah, like much like what JoJo said on stage, they have just improved, period, throughout the playoff series. And so going back in that run back versus Team Liquid is going to be fun.
I keep going back to the interview that we had with 100 Thieves after they beat C9, and they were like, we were more of a team.
Yeah.
I think that's also definitely true of EG today. Even when playing, like, for example, the Nocturne, right? Like, Inspired and Vulcan working together to control these early games was insanely helpful for this EG team, because once they got to, like, mid-game team fighting and skirmishes, that's when JoJo and Danny just started running everyone over.
Yeah, I mean, even some of the Nocturne ults to turn the lights out on the TF ultimates to deny options for them at some certain points felt really good, where, okay, like, yeah, we can see them still revealed, but I don't know exactly when we're going to be able to go in, because there's going to be a Nocturne flying in the other direction, and like you get these kind of counter-engaged standoffs about who's going in where. And so it just felt like EG, to Emily's point, was on a much clearer page about how they want to play these fights out.
And I really wished for in this series for Cloud9 to play more standard teamfight compositions that play towards bot lane like they did when they went up against Golden Guardians. Regardless of the skill of the teams, that playstyle I thought was going to be successful. Coming into this series, I thought we were going to be seeing more mage, control mage picks mid lane, but we see Twisted Fate, early Twisted Fate, by the way, and you look at these side lanes, and it's just difficult to play around an Alistar post 6, a Gragas top lane, of course, if you're trying to find dives. And like you mentioned, in a lot of team fights, Nocturne is just going to shut down your options.
And I think I want to go back to those 2v2 bot lanes and just generally how C9 played around their lanes, right? Because when I'm talking about team play, I did like the looks that they had with those bot lanes, but these drafts, you're in such narrow execution windows. So I'm not going to sit here and say, like, you know, you can suss out my opinion on C9's drafts from the way I'm talking about it. But when you put yourself in a window where your execution is that narrow and that difficult and so early game reliant, you need to have it like Blaber, you need to go bot and shove that wave out. Blaber, you need to go top and help your Camille out. Like, find a lane to play around and hard shove it and snowball your early game.
Yeah, and probably the most comments we've seen from the community is around the drafts for Cloud9 in these past weeks. And there are two types of drafts. There's one draft where you just objectively think it's the strongest, and even though you are a flexible team, you use those drafts. The other one is that you use the draft to cover up your weaknesses or to accelerate the strengths that you do have, right? And you feel narrowed into these drafts. And I feel like that's the case for Cloud9. That during the last week of the regular season when they were starting to get picked apart, and certainly in the playoffs runs that they had, they just have felt like they've been playing to what, like, something that they can do. Covering up the weaknesses, and more specifically, Summit is playing towards very volatile picks that they need to put them on. And a lot of those times, players who are just permanently volatile, we've seen this from previous splits, either be it the strongest of, players in this region or some of our weaker ones, and you put them on weak side, it will be even worse. And that's just the reality. And so it kind of sucks that we didn't get to see this angle from Cloud9 that we saw from Golden Guardians playing towards Berserker and mid lane.
Yeah, tough go of it here in the home stretch for Cloud9. But on the flip side, again, Evil Geniuses continue to ramp up through the playoffs and definitely look like a formidable opponent moving into their next series, especially when you consider the performance of the man in the mid lane, jojopyun. Again, rookie out there on the stage, always questions about stepping up to pressure, and all three of the games, but in particular, I'm going to call out that game number 2 again as just an absolutely all-star performance.
I mean, his victor was absolutely incredible, ran that game over, but it was 3 games of just incredible play from him as a whole, just playing with the team much better, playing laning phase much better. They look like they are a big threat where anyone can carry at different times, and for JoJo in particular, just how much of a spotlight he was under as young North American mid laner to finally deliver a huge playoff win is important.
Yeah, I'm so happy for him, and also just like generally, people are so hypercritical of
He tweets! Yes!
Sick tweet, actually.
Back at it again, guys.
People are so hypercritical of young NA talent when they come up, and if they don't immediately like blow everyone out of the water. Suddenly, like they're just awful, and I'm
Should have been an import. Yeah.
effing sick of that.
Yes.
Like I'm so sick of it. Everyone, if you want North America to be better, you should be behind jojopyun and his improvement. And I think the biggest thing, to Mark's point, was actually the way he teamed up with everyone else out of lane, because we already know he's a phenomenal laner.
Yeah, and the mistakes that he made during the regular season, a lot of the times, were like learning mistakes. It's not like, oh, I'm playing too passively. I'm not really doing, so you're not really having any takeaways, right? He's making mistakes by playing fairly aggressively. People still recognize the early laning phase strengths that he had. And by the way, something I learned after this series, one lesson, one takeaway.
Oh.
It was in his interview that he was talking about. He's like, hey, I couldn't really talk because I was losing these games to Fudge earlier, but then he started to, talk smack again as they're taking their final, pictures. Now he's talking again because he feels confident around his team's success. He wants to talk smack. He just wants to be able to have the play back it up.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I think he always wanted to talk.
Yeah.
I am so a fan of trash talk no matter when it comes out. People are always like, trash talk before the games. I'm like, nah, I'll be a sore winner. I don't care. I got the dub. I support it.
Trash talk whenever.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's all I have, to say about that. Just be a good sportsman on both ends of it, right? I think that there's still that element of it, and I think everybody has been in this scenario, but I love the confidence that this is instilled in him. I love that he's already set his sights on a target that is that much higher in, the winningest mid laner we've ever had in the LCS for his next series.
Yeah, a target that's eluded him throughout the split, because we talked about how Evil Geniuses hadn't been able to beat the top
Teams above him.
teams in the split. And so for him, he was aiming to beat Fudge because of how he felt like he was the better player, but didn't get that opportunity. Now it's Bjergsen time.
All right, good on Evil Geniuses, but as we've been doing all postseason long here in the LCS, we have to say goodbye to the teams that we have lost along the way, so it's time to pour one out for Cloud9. But I had a thought. I thought it didn't feel right to pour only one out for Cloud9.
Okay.
I felt we had to pour out as many as there were versions of the team.
Oh, I like
if that makes sense to you, because this split, it feels like we lost maybe 4 or 5 different versions. So I'm going to try something that's very dangerous.
Oh, God.
Here we go,
right,
Cloud9. Here's to you and giving us a very exciting split.
So there's the LS version.
Yep.
Yeah,
There's
what are
the lock-in version, the regular season version with Winsome, and now the playoff
And then the
version.
Isles.
Yeah.
playoff
So that's
version.
4. Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Four Red Bulls, 4 versions of Cloud9.
Gone but not forgotten.
Oh, but also, I've just received word that we're not the only people paying our respects to Cloud9. Vulcan himself pouring one out. GG's Cloud9, they're a really good team. Strong top laner, insane jungler, always reliable mid, mechanically talented ADC. If only they had a top-tier native support to top it all off. You know he had to get the final dig in there, and rightfully so.
He got that one in the draft.
Gotta feel good to get that bit of revenge, but I also do appreciate the respect that he lays to, the talent that exists on the Cloud9 roster.
He was feeling himself on Alistar. And that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, first of all,
A little hyphy, a couple moments.
He's a known, ridiculously good Alistar player. For, I mean, you should know if you've watched LCS. But I love that he was just, going in.
A couple oopsie moments
very
there, but
hypey. I mean, it didn't cost his team anything. They were too far.
He also
As I was reading that.
Man too.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I was reading that, I was like, oh, wait, he got me in the first half. I was like, how is this trash talking? Oh, wait a minute. That was good.
All right, let's recap the weekend by taking a look at the Samsung SSD Fast 5 leaderboard. So all 4 teams and players from those 4 teams as compared to the LCS averages from this year.
Hey, Fudge is still going to get his mythics. That's always going to happen.
More things change, the more things stay the same, right?
No one is getting him out of that top mid-mythic item spot.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that the game seems to have slowed down in playoffs. This is something that you sometimes see in a lot of other sports too, is that when you get to the later portions of the season, teams stop making as many mistakes. We've also seen the meta slow down, it feels like, a little bit, to be more team fight oriented. So top to 100 CS is a little slower than average. Bot to 10k gold is lower than the LCS average. And junglers, for example, is also there's only one person above the average in playoffs right now, and that's Santorin.
Yeah, and I mean, just taking a look at a lot of these, the first thing that comes to mind is the amount of horse logos we see here in Team Liquid. Because it's easy to forget because
How many were there? I didn't count.
Quite a few.
Okay,
That's
take your word for it.
That's 4 of them.
It was
I saw 4.
All right.
But yeah, for Team Liquid, we just got off of what was, you know, an exciting Evil Geniuses series, but just yesterday, Team Liquid felt like, and they were so damn close to taking that 5-game victory. Now Evil Genius has to go up against them, and you have to believe that Team Liquid is the favorites in this series.
Yeah, let's set our sights on Houston, where our first bout will have the first-seeded Team Liquid in the losers bracket final against a surging Evil Geniuses. That is a rematch of the 5-game series that opened playoffs for Team Liquid and Evil Geniuses. Of course, the winner moves on to challenge the 3-seed and defending LCS champions in 100 Thieves. Mark, I actually don't think there are better storylines, a better final 3 when it comes to storylines of the rematch into the finals, the defending champions, the idea that it was TL that kicked 100 to the losers bracket last time around, and now it's reversed. Like, we kind of just were given it all.
Plus all the lock-in stuff too, where TL beat EG in the final 3-0. Now they're trying to get their revenge for that one. The 100 Thieves kind of choking in lock-in. Now they're sitting in winners finals, waiting to see who's going to come up against them. It's very exciting, and Team Liquid might keep playing 5-game series. We'll see.
And all before we step onto a stage with thousands of screaming fans, and we saw a little bit in that interview. Impact has faith that the young guys like JoJo will continue to step up to that pressure. But again, we've all been in those arenas before, and even for us, the vibrations, you know, are different as the show is going live. When you feel 15,000 people, you know, reverberating through a stadium, it's just a totally different game.
There's nothing like it, where it's just such a drastically changed environment. And even if you were just to think of the past few years where it's like, okay, I started my career in my bedroom, right?
Yeah.
And it's startedly just ramping up, finally back in studio. Okay, now there are fans, and now what is this? A huge stadium. It's crazy, and I want to see what they could do under that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
Mark, you gonna treat us to a...
Oh, you're gonna do it?
Anything
You're gonna
big?
do the
No.
thing?
Big return to the stage?
Not the B-woos?
No?
Are you sure?
Maybe we revive a little group known as IDK. No, nothing? No?
Maybe, what if Rafa was...
I just excited some people in my ear to
invite
start a
Rafa?
suggestion of that.
No fun
Ooh,
allowed.
Rafa, yeah, we
Sick
could have
on
a whole,
guitar,
guitar
like that.
We did the whole
solo,
backing track.
frontman,
What if we
and
just had a nice little analyst ask?
you just want to do the thing as we normally do it?
yeah.
Okay, Mark, we'll talk
Well,
about it. We
if
got
you
a
guys
week to
need me
figure it
sing,
out.
I can sing.
Also,
there.
guys, if you are a fan of it, you can always go to Mark's Twitter account and let him know how
At
Yeah, please bombard him with asks for the coming week. Just one final reminder that if you want to join us in Houston, I believe you can still find tickets, so go check that out. That's the 23rd and 24th of April. Next week, we've got 2 best-of-5s to determine who will hoist the LCS trophy and crown themselves king here in the LCS. But for now, we're all heading home. We're shutting the studio down. So on behalf of myself, the casters, and the entire broadcast crew, thank you so much for watching. Catch you next week in Houston for the LCS Finals. We get you hit it!
Let's go!
Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, and be good to each other. Good night. Well
That
done.
last chance,
it was the
too.
last shot, and she did it!
Let's go.
A very, very important best of 5. One team is staying home. One team is heading on a plane to Houston, Kobe. Will it be EG or will it be Cloud9? Summit's trying to find a flank. He's found JoJo. They're going to look to try and get that kill. The Dragon may be forfeit. That Blaber goes back in. He got it. He got it. Finds the soul. Now they dive in. Inspired with the final chapter over the top. Blaber's going to die to the double. Making a triple there as Inspired picks up the next one. And it's now a 5v2. Making a 1v5. It's only Fudge left alive. And EG just waltz on through. It's Inspired going back through. There's the ulti finally perfect in the choke point. And Danny is going to free fire down Berserker. Somebody please give JoJo the last hit. And look at that, Kobe. 3 more kills for JoJo's Victor.
I'm gonna go for you. I'm gonna go for you. I'm gonna go for you. 1 second, my E.
Penta!
And mid.
Careful, Danny. I can block for you.
I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it.
Really? I can set it up. Set it up.
I'm not hitting.
Oh, that's
Danny!
I'm not coming.
He's giving it to you. He's giving it to you.
Okay, gate. What? Dude, why is he getting it to me? What?
Ultimate goes in from Nocturne. They're after Summit, actually. Gwen bubble goes up, but impacted to the backline, trying to make it happen. JoJo straight into the middle of the enemy team. Stasis is there. Vulcan finds the combo on the backline, but Blaber barely misses onto JoJo. And Danny, once again, is ripping through Cloud9. He's got himself a double. EG can seemingly do no wrong, and they're going to get a 4th kill as well. A 5th kill, perhaps. Danny with the unofficial penta. It's literally the Fed Zeri versus one Nami. One little fish in a very, very big pond. And the bubble lands, but a
that's not enough. Here's Blaber, though, to try and save the day, and Danny, in style, will vault over the Nexus and push North America's new hope, new talent, new team into top 3.